Hello everyone, welcome to ID Trade. Today we're just going to do a trade review of today, March 1st, what's happening so far. There was a beautiful up move as we expected. This is the Bank Nifty 15-minute chart. See, initially, as per yesterday in our shorts, we had a view that if this level breaks, right, we could come and fill this gap, and exactly we have done that. We have broken out, though the first 15-minute candle was a red candle since we closed above this, and we have been just making higher highs and higher lows, and there was this gap which could act as a good resistance. Exactly, we are kind of halted there, right? This blue zone that is marked, this was the gap area. And let me just make this a little lighter. Exactly, we have come and halted here. Now from here, being bullish would be a little cautious. Being bullish from here, we have already come up, I think, from the day's low about 450 points, and it is not advisable to go long here. If somebody had taken a long position in the morning, yes, they can stay in the trade, but a fresh long position can be avoided here unless, see, even if we get a strong closing above 40,689, there is immediate good resistance in 100 points higher, right? So it will just be a small scalp. See, these points can definitely act as resistance now on the upside. Though we have a target of maybe hitting 40,000, 41,000, but I don't think that would be achievable today. It's definitely not advisable going long here because immediately there's some resistance, and if I put on the CPR, we have R3 right here at about 40,737, right? A better trade would be if kind of, this is the 5-minute chart of Bank Nifty. A better trade would be if, say, we start trading below this kind of this rising flag that is there. If we kind of break this, come retest, and then start getting a good strong momentum close, at least a close below this 570 is where probably we can see some downside. Maybe that can be a good trade. So we'll have to wait and see whether we'll get a strong closing, at least on a 15-minute chart. Because if you see the chart pattern, right, it's in Bank Nifty, the 3-minute or 5-minute, this is making this type of a nice rising wedge kind of a pattern. So this is where we'll have to be careful on the long side. And even if we check the OI data for the day, there's a lot of support, no doubt, right? There's a lot of put writing that's coming throughout the day, obviously, as the price went up. But if you see the overall open interest, there is some resistance at 40,700, and 40,800 is a very good resistance, and there is some support at 600. So if we start trading below 40,600, maybe there's a chance we can hit 40,500 if kind of this pattern kicks in. But any long trade is avoidable right now, because since we have already moved how much, 349 points, right? And usually what happens whenever there's a gap, how the gaps are traded is whenever there's a price gap like this, from a gap down or a gap up, when the price comes and fills this gap, always it will take some resistance, right? And that is what is happening now. And even if you look at the Nifty chart, Nifty is also at a very good resistance. So in Nifty again, unless we break out of this 17,440, okay, maybe the next target will come around 17,480. There's, again, we can avoid going long in Nifty. We are making kind of this double top and taking resistance where previously also the price has reacted at this level. So let's see if this chart pattern kicks in. This will only work if we get this type of a move and a retest and start going down, making low lows, right? Or this could just be some sort of a false breakdown, and we could again continue going up. See, this is the beauty of price action, right? If you have seen a couple of my short videos from past few days, we have been marking this gap level, and exactly over there the price has taken resistance. So this was a good place to exit. any kind of a long trade that anybody was in, because we are taking resistance here. And if we get a strong closing above this, yeah, maybe a quick scalp until 40,780 is possible. And before that, we have this R3 of CPR where it is at 730. See, this chart pattern is perfectly fitting in. The only thing that is going against this chart pattern is the open interest data. If even if the open interest data starts supporting us on the downside, as of now, the open interest is completely bullish as per the open interest data. Sorry, as per the open interest data, it is kind of a bullish data. Maybe if we start trading below this level and kind of this trend line breaks and continue trading, if the open interest also changes, that is meaning, what is open interest change? If all these calls start becoming more and if this red line, the puts, start reducing, then definitely we can get some more on the downside. Let's just check what the how the global market is at this point. It's kind of trading flat after getting a nice dip yesterday. The European markets and the US futures are trading flat. This is what I've been interesting. This is what I was reiterating, right? We are having this nice chart pattern. The way the price moves itself will be able to determine whether it is kind of exhausting the selling pressure or the buying pressure. This is one of the chart pattern. And right now we've got a dip. Let's see if this sustains. It's only about 12. So if we start continuously trading on the downside, then maybe some sort of a momentum also can pick up. See, the same thing is happening even in Nifty. As mentioned, this chart pattern is kind of like a rising flag, or where you say this is an exhaustive pattern on the upside. And definitely, maybe the target on the downside, the first target would be around 17,391. Let's check how the Nifty open interest is doing. See, based on the open interest, right, even Nifty is having a very bullish data, right? Whenever there is a bullish open interest data and a bearish price action, we will have to be a little careful. But this is a nice break of this trend line, right? If we kind of continue trading below the structure, it's like a nice break of structure. maybe we will come down further. And you can see even in Bank Nifty we are dipping right now. As I mentioned that from past few days we have been reiterating in our short videos wherever I make that analysis video, right? This is a good level, that is 40,067, and exactly, and here is where we had this gap, the previous price action gap, right? So definitely the price will take some distance here. That's how the gap works, and even today the same thing is happening. So that's the reason early on in the video I mentioned that going long over here can be avoided. Probably this can be a good scalping trade on the downside. So we might not get a very big fall, because let's see how the, so we should not be seeing open interest every 5 minutes. At least it will take 30 minutes or 15 minutes to completely change. But as of now, the open interest data is bullish, but that is not being supported by the price action. This is a nice on a 15-minute candle, kind of like if we get this type of a strong closing, right? See, it's still there is 1 minute, and if this candle closes as it is, this is a nice kind of an engulfing candle of almost 3 4 candles. Maybe we can go further down. If R2 of CPI breaks something like this, we could even come down further. But the only thing that is against us is the open interest data, right? It is still bullish. So probably just scalping on the downside is the best option. Now, say if we hit this R2, then in case we break this R2, then probably we might even come until here, that is 40,500, because 40,500 is where there is a very good support. Right? You see this huge. Obviously, the open interest is a dynamic data. It can just change randomly within few seconds, but still we will have to consider it. If we try and look for some kind of fib retracement, sorry, the entire day, the first level 0.6 is over here, 43, that's too far away. If we just see the retracement for today, yeah, maybe even this level is possible, 40,478. So this is the beauty of price action, right? Once when you know stuff like this, when how the price reacts at a gap, definitely, no doubt, this was a nice long move. Anybody would have bought a call or future or sold put anything, you would have made money. But this was the best place for exit. Not expecting the price to break this level of 40,670. Why? Because there was a gap and we came and filled this gap. The gap was from here. Now, what is this gap is when I remove this blue zone, you see this price which had a small gap down, and from past few days we have been reiterating that this gap can act as a good resistance. And obviously, if this had broken, we would have gone up. But exactly there, you see the price action, right? The first, if I go to a 15-minute chart, sorry, a 5-minute chart, we started seeing some sort of a rejection here, right? And then on top of that, we had this type of a nice chart pattern that's being formed, like a rising flag or a rising wedge type of, sorry, not a rising flag, like a rising wedge type of a pattern. This is a pattern which shows there is some exhaustion in the buying. Where are you from? I'm from Bangalore. Can I have your mobile number? I'm sorry, I don't think putting out my mobile number there is the best thing. You in all my videos, this Cosmo Feed group is there. You can just join this Cosmo Feed and look up this Adi trade, and you can like post your question or something there. And we do have a group where I post this daily analysis. This website was having some issue, it just got resolved today. So we will be back to posting some live market updates there as well. Now, this time, the best thing to do is take a screenshot of this OI data so that it will help us in case we continue to fall, and to see the change in OI data, it will be helpful. Yeah, and even if I use the EMAs, this is the 20, 50, and the 200, we have got a strong closing below the 20. Maybe here is where we can take some support at the 50 EMA, and even if this breaks, then the fall could continue. Definitely at around 40,500 is where we'll have to be careful. There's a strong support still. If that breaks, we could be going down further if 40,500 breaks. But so far, just the way we analyzed, and the moment I saw this, usually I come around by 12:30 and just do a mid-market review, right? But the moment I saw this price action, so I was like, let me just go live and give this update. And this type of a chart pattern that was being formed, and exactly while we were talking, this is when the breakdown came, and looks like it is a good breakdown. And just see the way the price kind of took rejection here and reversed. See, usually what happens whenever there's a gap, right? The price, whenever there's a gap, this type of a gap. I'm sorry, I'm having slight problem with my throat. Whenever there's a gap like this, the price comes, takes resistance, and it's not that we will get a immediate fall on the downside, but yeah, today the chart pattern was such where a fall could come, but usually it will take resistance here and kind of hold before breaking down or reversing from here. And the same thing, even if the price is coming in from the top, right? Now, say there's a gap over here and the price is falling, it'll come fill the gap and take resistance at this gap and bounce. Along with this gap, we had this type of a nice chart pattern, right? You would have seen this chart pattern in many places, like say on Instagram, YouTube, or anywhere on the web, this type of a rising flag. So the moment that broke and we are slipping. Sixty 34. Some amount from the time we started, right? Some amount of call writing has come, but still there's a very good support at 40,500. That level can act as a good support still, 40,500. If that breaks, the fall could continue. And a similar pattern was even observed in Nifty, where when kind of this trend line broke, we were expecting some more on the downside. This is a nice big red candle, and exactly from very close to 40,500 is where we are bouncing again, right? And any long trade is only if we close above this 40,675, and other than that, and any now further a short trade. This could have been a nice good scalping trade on the downside, right? And any down trade is only 40,500 breaks on the downside. If 40,500 breaks, I wouldn't be surprised if we come even to the day's low, that is 40,340. See, so far we have had a pretty nice price action, right? We came to this gap, took resistance, and we have taken a dip, and exactly from 40,500 again we are bouncing off. So, see, the best trade right now, personally, for me, would be if we start trading below 40,500, and a quick long trade is if we get a closing above 40,680, we can scalp for 40,077 or even this R3 of CPR. We have R3 of CPR here, right? So these are the levels we can just take a small scalp. Obviously, the best trade was this up move. Going further from here, any down move is if 40,500 also breaks, because this small down move, what we were expecting, is kind of done, right? We were seeing this chart pattern. It came, and again we are bouncing off from here. So let me just remove all this and see, on the upside we would need a close above this, and on the downside we would need a strong closing below this level. And I even mentioned the reason why we need a strong closing below this. It is because of the open interest. You just see when I do the change in OI, meaning change in OI means what has happened today. You see the amount of put writing that is there, and call writing is hardly anything, right? Huge put writing. That is where the support is coming. That is why the bounce is coming from here. So in case we close below this, probably all those put writers will exit and dip further. So the reason for pointing out this is, so definitely if anybody was kind of long from the morning, they could have exited here because of this, after filling this price action, filling this gap. I'll go ahead and stop this live update for now and be back again tomorrow around 12 to just give a mid market update. Thank you.